You know what they say, once you pop, you can't stop.
You know what?
Oh, hey, everybody.
Hello. You know what? I was so stressed about the audio levels, I forgot to fix the layout. So there, that's it. That's my goof for today. Speaking of which, today is September 18th, 2023, and you are loved. And that is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners at the beginning of each and every single one of these games. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, or you can go towards anywhere audio casts are being made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, if you go to patreon.com/indooradventures, you can check up on our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions for myself or any of these other fine folk, feel free to again join us at patreon.com/indooradventures. But let's say you already support us on Patreon. You already support us on Twitch and social medias and all of those other wonderful places, and you're trying to think to yourself, where can I go to help support this fantastic show even more? Well, guess what, Acorns? I got your back, quite literally, in fact, because if you go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, we got t-shirts, we got posters, we got mugs, we got crop tops, throw pillows, shower curtains, aprons, clocks. I'm grabbing shit off camera to try and have something get out of there. We have face masks with the symbol of Tiamat upon them, designed by our very own Cyberwolf 1201, where all of the proceeds of our merch currently goes to help support Doctors Without Borders. So if you would like to help support a good cause or possibly help support the show, you can again go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. That is indooradventure, no S at the end, .redbubble.com. But that is it for my opening spiel. I have dashed RJ's hopes of playing Arjhan tonight. RJ, who are you
I'm leaving
playing?
this game. The fans have sabotaged me for the last time. Hey everybody, I'm RJ. And today I'm playing Caelum, the Shattercut Wizard Fire. We both go by Ian.
Hello everybody, I'm LBHackEmUp. I'm going to be playing Gwen the Halfling Barbarian. I almost fucked it up. We both go by she, her.
Wait, I'm Cyber. I use he or whatever pronouns. I play Arjhan. Arjhan is a Draconian who randomly found an F-35 today. He, him.
Hey everybody, I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener. She, her. Today I'm playing as Coriander the Eldred Paladin, she, they, and he.
And I am the Indoor Adventurer, he, him, or a sexy senior citizen if my mug is to be believed. And tonight, I shall be your Dungeon Master. So, last we left off, your group was continuing your travels, having left the Rock of Brawl, acquiring a crew, and really making some headway. And as you are going about your travels, Caelum, you encountered a astral visitor of sorts, a spectral being in the form of an ancient-looking Githzerai, who claimed that they were none other than Zareth Menyar Ag Gith, the leader of the Githzerai, who had reached out to you personally to ask for your help in a time of need, as it seems that there is a creature of titanic proportions that is heading towards the Citadel of the Gith, the last known outpost of the Githzerai. Upon hearing this, Zareth also offered that were you to help him, he would provide a means of being able to pass through the Eye of Doom, which seems like a good idea to have some sort of protection when trying to enter through a black hole. So, all things considered, win-win. Speaking of things that we consider a win, last time while we were on this show, Arjhan ended up getting together not just Arathsk, not just... What? You're pointing.
I'm pointing at it in my background.
Oh, yes. Okay, cool. I was like, oh god, if I
Spooky
fucked up again.
spookies?
Not only did Arjhan manage to get the help of a Rathsk, not only did he manage to get the assist from Lord Ebenholt of the King of Sirt's Hellier, but he also managed to summon all 5 heads of Tiamat, and with Kendek's help at the Dragon Forge, you were able to turn a gem that you had received from the Ifrit that you freed forever ago to present a wonderful piece of intricate jewel work that you then bestowed to Rasa. It was at this point that the two of you, well, had a lovely night in Rasa's lair, so to speak, while the rest of the party continued in the Mechanical Tyrant on their way to the Citadel of the Gith. The easiest way that you were able to do this, of course, is through a variety of magics involving gate spells, and your abilities as a Great Worm are always appreciated in this part of town. Now, that being said, you are less than a day away from arriving at the Citadel of the Gith when we come back. So was there anything that we wanted to do while still in Verstaine, as that was one of the last known places for our group? Oh, also, other things to note. You ended up going to the tribe, to their brand new city, had a feast, wonderful time. The next day, brought Hexton to life. Hexton is a rather beefy boy at this point, if memory serves, as you turned his Goliath spirit into none other than
Planetar?
Planetar. Thank you. I was like Panatar. I was one letter off. Planetar. So
It's
now
when a satyr
amongst
and
your
a centaur
crew-
get together.
I see. So now your group, you have a Planetar, you have a Storm Giant Quintessent, you have an entire crew of mercenaries, and you also have an adult red dragon willing to fight by your side. This seems like some pretty good odds going into any sort of fight. But as Arjhan stated, not only will you be gaining a means of being able to pass through the Eye of Doom, but this will also be a good trial run to see just exactly what your strategy will at least look like in a rough sense going into the decisive battles that you have ahead of you. Now, as we stated, last we left off, Arjhan, you and Rasa were resting. You had been given another hour in your draconic form in order to take advantage of bestowing this wonderful gemmy to Rasa. Is there anything that you would like to do while still in Verstaine?
Is there anything else anybody else had to do in Verstaine? Because we might be picking up with Arjhan a bit later.
Okay, sounds good.
Not that I am aware of.
Not unless Hexton wants to do anything.
Hexton, you gave him a greatsword, and he is like, it's a regular greatsword, but he's spending time essentially like forging a pact with it.
Okay.
Oh no, he's part either Eldritch Knight or Warlock.
Okay.
So about 10 hours later, Arjhan sort of rouses within Rasa's lair. Just sort of there amongst a shit ton of money.
If anyone's looking for Caelum, he is currently strapped to the gills with. Oh no, we're not the Goliath cap anymore.
Nope.
He's just reading.
I rolled a 4. Rasa. That iron flask. Do you still have that?
I know that it wasn't particularly one of your favorite things to hold on to, but yes, I've kept on to it. It was one of the first things that you ever gave me, even if it was a trade. But I still appreciated it nonetheless.
I think that might come come in handy. Right, because it works on things that aren't native to the plane that you're on, right?
Yes.
If things start going bad in one of the fights ahead, that might be a good way to get one of us out of there quickly.
She sort of like has that moment of processing and then nods. She sees where you're going with this.
There is that. The matter of that blood, though. That was so long ago. Whenever I was on the moon, whenever we fought Caius and I was the only one who survived, my echoes started trying to contact me through my blood. They started talking about like the smiling one and offering their help. I wonder. Okay, if we're planning, if we want to use it, we need to get rid of the blood elemental.
I could burn it if you'd like. I'm very good at burning things.
That might be a good backup, but I think I want to try something else. You remember what Tiamat said, the whole Great Worm stuff. They would get power by consuming their echoes. I'm not trying to consume those of me from other worlds, but I wonder if it's a little fucky, but maybe it counts. It was a part of me, I think.
From what you've told me, they offered you their assistance. Do you think that the you that is your blood would be willing to assist in keeping you alive?
I doubt it. It seemed very aggressive.
That is true. And I understand that the ethics behind this are potentially morally questionable. But with the flask, from my understanding, the resident of the flask, upon being summoned, will be friendly to you for a specific amount of time. You could use that time to ask its opinion or get to know it before it turns hostile. You don't have to say, get in my belly, so to speak. But you could at least see where it stands. If it stands. It's a blood creature. I don't know. I've met a lot of elementals, so they have thought. I assume this creature or so has thought as well. Independent actions.
We'll go pick up the iron flask.
Yeah, she'll, like, while talking, she will have been, like, sifting through her hoard until she finds it. And it's been put in a very lovely little reliquary. It seems like even though it is something that you did not necessarily want, she still, kept it and made sure that it was safe and easily findable for her. She just sort of peels back with her freshly black painted nail the lid of this reliquary, and you see sitting in a very nice little velvet housing this iron flask that houses a piece of you from long ago.
Arjhan will go pick up the iron flask. Yeah, she'll, while talking, she will have been sifting through her hoard until she finds it. And it's been put in a very lovely little reliquary. It seems like even though it is something that you did not necessarily want, she still, kept it and made sure that it was safe and easily findable for her.
She And as you pop the lid, you see that there is just like a dripping of blood that seems to come out until there is a torrent, almost as if it were a geyser, as this pool of blood sprays out onto the floor. And as the last droplets are coming out of this flask, you can see that pool of blood begins to coalesce. Droplets that were part of the initial spray are actually peeling off of the coins that they had themselves rested upon to then join into this center moment where you watch as this echo of an old you has appeared. And they are smaller than you. Their stature doesn't look as proud. It looks almost not in a sense of shame or embarrassment, but it looks like they are trying to take up very little space for how large they are in terms of their class. It doesn't seem afraid, it just seems like it doesn't have the same presence that you do.
Can you tell us what you are?
And like where its head is just this like blood mound, and its mouth opens into a silhouette of like a bloody draconic maw, and there's just this as a splat of blood falls onto the floor, and you see that it dries into the words for common blood. And then the blood seeps back into it.
Are you in pain?
And it bends it will actually, I think, like parts of its blood will seep out onto the wall behind you, and it will just begin writing. And when you say, "Are you in pain?" the response that you get above it is, "I was born from pain."
Is there anything that you intend? You have a goal? What?
The response that you get is, "As I am, I cannot stay out here for long. I require a host."
Whenever you have a host, what are you doing?
I am an inherited will. When we were removed, what were you doing?
Finding myself.
And as you say finding yourself, you see that their head sort of like picks up a little bit and then nods. And it says, "I am like you and not. To see where you are now brings me joy. As I am, I could not be that. I was not joy. I am pain.
I'm going to drink the potion of Draconic Majesty.
Okay.
Just flashing through my echoes. Does any of this make sense to any of them?
You know that for echoes, for how you've met them, how you've encountered them, each one of them stems from a fracture in what is effectively, if we are considering you Arjhan Prime, a fracture in the timeline, or a decision that was made, a left instead of a right, a father instead of a mother, that sort of thing, like depending on these interactions. And you all know that they have come from a deciding place, that the environment, that the situations that they were a part of made them who they are. This blood echo, this sanguine representation of what Arjhan was at that time when he expelled the blood from his body, that is what is left here. And you get the sense that, in a way, seeing this creature here, is a representation, a physical manifest of one of those divergent points.
He's my Horcrux diary.
Effectively, yes. And they see you in your draconic majesty, and they like flare out their wings as best they can. But you can see that they don't have the demeanor that you do. Even with their wings fully out and even standing at their full height, the way that they look towards you in this moment isn't a person standing with like waving their arms trying to scare a bear. They are feeling a sense of pride, but also longing, looking at what, if they had stayed, what they could have become, if they were allowed to have stayed.
Do you want to keep existing like this, or should I try to take you back?
And the creature says, "To be alone is to be cold. I am tired of being cold."
Arjhan's going to take his claws and just sort of dig into his shoulder and make a vital sacrifice.
Okay.
And then just reach out his claws, now covered in his own blood, and rip them through the elemental.
Okay. No attack roll necessary. As your blood mixes, your current blood mixes with your old blood, you see like its form morphs around your hand. It doesn't like sever in half. It is sort of like it is just taken with you, like adjusting to the blood, and it will coat your hand, and you hear I think that the last thing that you hear is a more internalized, a sort of psychic echo of this creature, as it says, "Thank you for letting me be warmth."
Just do a deep breath as the blood just sort of the wound just sort of heals back up. Okay, that was weird. I'm sure that's a metaphor that somebody will explain. Probably nice in the courtyard. Should we get back to the ship?
And Rasa, I think she sort of looks at you, and there is there's like a knowing smirk that she has seeing this. She nods.
And Arjhan will just sort of toss the flask back to her. And plane shift them back to the legacy.
Okay. Sounds good. So plane shift back to the tyrant. And upon arriving, the rest of your group, Caelum, you said that you were reading. Cori, I'm assuming that Fall Cori and Summer Cori were shooting the shit. Summer Cori being like, I smoke now, it's cool, and you being like, no, that's bad for us. Like, it is cool, I admit that, but like, health. Like, we'll live forever as an oath of ancients. It's fine.
I'm so sorry. When you said Fall Cori, I heard Fall Cori, and then in my head is Atreyu.
That's the never-ending space. We don't go to there because we don't have the licensing for it. But thankfully, at this point, you all see, those of you who are on the main deck, at least, will see that there is sort of this vibrant occurrence of Arjhan's draconic magic as two full-size dragons pop through a portal and rejoin your group. One black and one red.
Hello.
You know, honestly, if a bad dragon came in at some point, like I'm sure that none of us
those words on the internet.
We're
not sponsored. Sorry.
Sponsored.
An evil dragon came in at I feel like at this point we're so numb to these dragons just show up. Like I feel like we would not react quickly.
Well, I mean, it helps that I think that you've reacted properly when you met an evil dragon, because usually when you see an evil one that's all about hellfire and burning the shit out of things, or you remember with those weird funky birds that we were fighting, they had the sharp teeth and they were draining blood, and also had dragon bits in them. It was wild. But you met an evil dragon that time, and you did the first thing that you did was hey, we need to talk to that lady. You saw an evil dragon, but then later when it was causing destruction, you knew the thing to do.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the
Anyway.
first evil dragon we fought killed me.
That wasn't even a dragon. That was just a snow construct.
That wasn't a real dragon?
No, it was in the shape of a dragon.
It was
How
real to us.
disappointing.
You got killed by a snowman.
Imagine Summer Cori is also giving her shit for this. That was you too.
You almost got killed by magma.
It's true.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, remember folks, drink the potion before jumping in.
I did remember the potion though, in the end.
Eventually, you were 1 foot in the lava. Or magma underground.
You can't psych yourself out over that. Gotta rip off the band-aid. Jump in the lava. Drink the potion first, but drink the lava. Potion. Jump.
Make the plan, execute the plan, throw the plan out the window because something went wrong, create a new plan.
Exactly.
That sounds stupid. Who would say something like that?
Not a smart person. That's who.
Hi, my name
Anyway.
is Caelum Allen. I'm the fast
Of in the
runner.
cold food, of out eat the food.
Are you okay? Are you having a stroke, Cori?
Sorry, no, I was trying to remember a limerick or a tongue twister. It worked better in the original Elven.
It's funnier in Enochian. Got it.
So how far are we from our destination?
About a day's travel, give or take.
All right.
Mostly slow goings up here. Nothing too exciting has happened. Don't know where my little Chewinga friend went.
We've been fighting a lot.
Caelum, I need descending my mother. Can you help me?
It's like the one person who actually knows how to like read and write in the group, and it's like, hey, can you write my mom a letter?
All right, but you're taking the psychic backlash.
Isn't that the way it should be working anyway?
No, it's usually me.
I don't know what that means, but I'll give it
Two
a go.
hands, Cori's shoulders, established connection, Cori's mom. Here we go.
Well, shit. What am I gonna actually say to her?
You have 10 minutes of just talking to your mother.
What I do?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what my established connection spell
Oh.
does.
Fuck! I thought that was just ascending. Okay, fuck. Okay.
Do you have to roll to establish connection if you're not?
Not
on
when Cori's around. Even on a nat 1, I
Mm.
pass.
Nice.
Yay! Paladin.
If Cori's not around, then I start to roll.
Fair.
Okay. Cori's gonna have a chat with her mom. I was just gonna I was gonna fucking throw a grenade and then run. Like wasn't
Caleb's
ready
holding
for-
the door closed while you throw
I
the
wasn't
grenade.
ready for a whole 10 minutes.
I mean, to be fair, you could just be like slap his hand away, like break the connection, like that kind of thing.
Sure.
Just
Yeah,
attack
sure,
him, make him lose concentration on the spell.
Good luck with Warcaster and plus 10 cons to the con.
we don't want to go down that road. Mage Slayer, baby. Yeah, no, Cori establishes connection with her mother. And says, Mother, this has to stop.
And she says, "It will stop a lot sooner if you tell me where you are, daughter of mine."
Well, currently, I'm in the astral sea. But what you're chasing now is my spring self. And I would thank you not to. Because she's trying to have a lovely honeymoon. And I don't want to be bombarded with memories of being chased down by my mother when I get back.
Well, then maybe you should have told me that you were getting married. We had plans in store. We also have quite a few documents that we would need.
No,
your
Mother,
loving
you
party.
had plans.
Hi,
never-
should I leave for this?
No,
I could
you
tune
will
out.
stay.
Mother, you had plans. I never agreed to those. Why do you think I eloped?
This is hella awkward.
And she just shush. I assumed that the reason that you eloped is the same reason that you've done most things. Because you follow your heart. And I'm sorry that I have been hounding you about this. It's difficult when I know through the years that you've spent a lot of time with your father. You've spent a lot of time around him, and he has rubbed off on you a considerable amount, and I still see him in you. It's not that I'm mad that you eloped. But with going to the academy and becoming a Caelum and then going on to the material plane, I've missed a lot to make sure that this family works as well as it is, that your father can go off to the hells and have a new family. And I know that that's not where things are, but I was hoping that for once I could be there for a significant moment in my daughter's life. That is why I planned all of this. And I took the time in order to do so. Because I wanted to be there. And now I get to be in that memory in a completely different way. A way that I'm not exactly pleased with. I've spent a lot of resources tracking you down. However, I will give you this. Didn't you find it convenient that every place that you ran, there was somebody willing to help you? Who knew where you would be in order to assist? Did you think it was happenstance? You have turned this plane into an escape room, my dear.
I'm sorry?
I could have let you go at any time. But if you're going to take a wedding away from me, then I'm going to make sure that I am embedded somewhere deep inside of that memory that you have of sailing the seas together, of sharing nights just outside of danger, of never knowing if you've quite gotten away.
Mother, you've been 12 steps ahead all along.
Yes. Because there's something that I need to tell you as well, my dear. Doppelgangers come at quite a fee, especially when you need to train one to look like you.
Mother, where are you right now?
I'm at the office.
Oh my god, I thought she was going to say, look behind you.
Just has a gun.
I can't exactly plan for these sorts of things while out on the sea. I need to make quite a few calls in order to establish that I am indeed one step ahead. And it's easy to stay one step ahead when you know a few individuals who can change the patterning of wind, who can make sure that there's always a vessel ready for escape. Have you liked your present?
I don't know yet, to be quite honest. But gods, you aren't wrong. I would love every minute of that.
From what I've been able to see through scrying, you have been. I'm not sure about Oliviette. To be fair, I honestly haven't met her. Maybe you could have brought her by for, I don't know, dinner, a visit.
You know, I will have to make good on that. I do apologize. Things have been complicated with Oliviette for some time, and wow, Mother, we really do need to catch up, don't we?
I believe so. The most updates that I get are from your father, and he's gone a little... He's changed a little bit. I don't think the hells are good to him.
I do believe he
him.
spent a little more time in the hells than is best. I have recommended that he get some air.
Hopefully I see him soon.
And my gods, you haven't even met Laurel yet. There's a lot. There's a lot going on, Mother.
I'm sorry, who's Laurel?
I think I can interject here.
What?
Has Yuglon told you about Hatterai?
Oh, yes. No, I've heard about the Shadowed Man.
Okay. Laurel's the godling they're looking after. And I'm gonna leave this conversation to you, Cori. Then I saw her face.
I think that this conversation is
Now
going to
I'm
take
a
longer than
believer.
10 minutes.
All right, then. When are you going to be next available? I can pencil you in.
Cori does some correspondence with her mother and figures out when she can next chat with her. Oh my god.
You know what I just realized?
What?
Sorry, there's just Gwen is in the background. She goes, "Oh my god, I forgot to tell my parents they have a grandson." Just runs across the screen.
Caelum just offering a hand to her, just like, all right, everyone queue up if you have any phone calls to make.
Well, never mind. I could plane shift you there. I'd still have time.
I mean, what is the God, level 20 is silly.
Oh my god.
We can go into Gideon. Caelum and
Like,
Cori can go
that's-
into Gideon, teleport to the Feywild, and then Caelum can teleport Cori to the Summer Isle, Spring Isle, wherever Kalmia's thing is.
She's in summer.
I like in regards to Olivia going to Caelum's wedding. I think we spent the entire time avoiding her. She was planning Caelum's wedding at the time, and like Cori was doing like season shenanigans to make sure that she could attend the wedding and also help run the wedding with her mother. Okay, yeah, no, let's pull the trigger on the plane shift. Cori's gonna spend a day with her mom and catch her up on everything.
You could use Gideon to get to Spring as well.
Sure.
Right, but if you need to go specifically to Kalmia's office,
That's fair.
That's a location that Arjhan would know.
Oh.
And
Yeah, let's do that. Then we don't have to do any like traveling in the Feywild or anything.
Sounds good.
does anybody else want to come?
No, I need to go talk to my parents.
Come here. I'll take you to Greenreach.
Okay. So y'all go to Greenreach and talk to your parents.
Like everything happened so fast. It didn't, but in the game it happened fast.
Dude,
How
we
many
wanna-
Cories am I bringing to Feywild?
It's bring them both. It's probably for the best. Just bring them both.
Okay, so Arjhan is going to bring Arjhan, Rasa, Cori, and Cori to Kalmia's office.
Caelum is going
Outside Kalmia's office.
Yeah.
Because Rasa and I are both huge.
Caelum will take Gwen to the Goliath camp so they can pick up Leo, and then
Philip.
head to Philip, and then go to Greenreach.
Okay.
We didn't know this is what was going to happen tonight. We never know what's going to happen.
No.
Fun fact: I have teleport, so it'll be quick. I also want to check up on Gwen's brother, see how he's doing.
Yeah, me too.
We can fast play
Yeah.
the Calmia stuff. Like
Yeah,
Cori, Arjhan, and who all is going?
Rasa.
Rasa, Arjhan and Rasa show up outside of the office on the Summer Isle. And like Cori goes and knocks on the door. Meanwhile, Summer Cori is putting her hair up in a ponytail because this is Summer Cori hours. You know, this is the way.
Mhm.
Like she's going business mode. And Cori knocks on the door. And when Calmia answers, Summer Cori says, "Let's do lunch."
And Calmia, I think, like, cocks her head seeing two of you there and, like, gets, like, a very, like, I get to spend double the time with my daughter. And she waves at you, Arjhan. And Arjhan, with your perception and not being, distracted by like, oh yeah, my mom's here. You sort of look past Calmia and you see that there is a large map of the Sea of Burning Night, and there are two ships that are moving seemingly on their own. There are like red pins on different islands. There's string connecting them. There are quite a few documents. And with your vision, you basically see Calmia's like, okay, if I chase them here and the winds are blowing in X direction, they will have to go to this place for the nearest port. When they get to that port, I'll contact one of my clerics one of my cleric friends that are out there to cause a rainstorm in order to happen. Once the rainstorm hits, they won't be able to leave because it will be unfavorable conditions unless they find a sea captain who is crazy enough in order to do this. Okay, that's where this guy comes in. And then there's like a dossier on like a very zany sea captain. Like it's like that kind of shit where like whatever outcome there is, Calmia has spent the last however long planning for this. If she can't plan your wedding, she's going to plan your honeymoon and you're going to fucking like it.
They're going to have enough time to grab souvenirs before the next storm comes in.
Exactly. They'll have 3 days on the beach if they see that there's a storm brewing off the coast.
When the storm blows them ashore, they'll have just enough time to watch the sunrise.
Exactly. Like that kind of thing. And then when you eventually reconstitute with Summer Cori, it will be a scene of just like, oh, we were running for our lives, but those were the best of times. Like that kind of thing. Like there will be this like spring-like lens to all of the terror and trouble that has occurred during this time.
Because it's Spring Cori, she's in love the entire time. God, this is ridiculous. Okay.
You guys have 3 mansions. You don't think that she has crazy mom energy money?
You're so right, bestie. My mind. I'm just sorry. My mind's just blown over the. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, she's gonna catch up with Calmia. She's gonna let her know about like Laurel. She's gonna tell her about Dad. And just like, everything that she hasn't gotten like firsthand accounts of.
Yeah, and she's there to catch up. Arjhan, you and Rasa, are you joining for this luncheon, or are you gonna go on a flyabout?
You can have Rasa meet the Red Dragon of the Summer Isles.
I was going to say, like, was there any, like, without going too far away, was there any, like, place that Scorchbane had that was, and I don't know, that just seemed like a really cool, like, dragon play, like, yeah. Dragon perch or
his former
Vista.
perch. We say former because if we all remember, Scorchbane actually does not reside in the Summer Isle anymore. Scorchbane has been posted up in the Winter Isle to promote a more temperate environment to kind of help thaw the local region. He also like flew across the Fall Isle with you when you guys were doing a Hellfire scenario. Scorchbane's been around for a while. But Scorchbane currently is over in winter. So you could actually go to his old perch, which is just this very tall outcropping that he used to look out upon the Summer Isle. All things considered, you'll be able to get there and back again while Cori's doing their thing.
I'll sending him and let him know that, hey, a couple of dragons are using your perch right now. Will be gone in, or your old perch will be gone in like, a couple hours.
Yeah. Scorchbane essentially just like gives you a thumbs up emoji, like the equivalent thereof. And just I think that the only response that he has is that perch treated me well for hundreds of years. May it treat you just as. Sounds good. So yeah, Arjhan and Rasa are at Scorchbane's old pad. Cori, the Coris are getting lunch with Calmia. Caelum, you had gone to Uvarskold, picked up Philip, picked up Leo with Gwen, and then you all teleported out to Greenreach. And when you, I think that like when you teleport there and when you arrive, are you bringing Grayskull with you?
Yeah.
And Hexton?
Would Hexton want to go?
Not really, but like he'd go
Yeah,
if
no,
you
I
asked.
didn't think so.
Okay.
No, that's fine.
You want to go, but no.
Not really.
All right, cool. That's totally fine.
In his words, somebody needs to watch over the ship.
Mm-hmm. Mutiny. Okay.
We get back. He's just pumping iron.
Okay.
Yeah. Go up to the cottage. Knock on the door.
I'll get it. And the door opens, and it's your father, and just, oh, it's so good to
Surprise!
see you. Hello.
Hi.
Gives you
I
a
brought.
big
Oh,
hug.
hello. Ma.
She's out back right now, but
Oh.
I can go get her. Here, come in. And he like puts a hand in like a whispered voice and like says in Halfling, "Did the others? You don't
No.
seem
No.
like sad."
They're okay. They're okay.
Okay,
And
okay.
we're split. I have to explain who everybody is, but I'd rather do it with everybody.
Oh yes, no. Let
Here.
me get your mother.
Uh-huh.
And
To
he
be
like
honest,
leans
yeah.
out the window, just songbird. And he like makes a whistling sound that sounds like a bird call, and you hear a response back. And then your mom walks in. And kind of still still in this, or not even in this room. I think that he would actually be kind of out and about, as you guys had built him like an all-terrain wheelchair last time you were here. But I think your father says, "Owain, boys will play. Ever since you last showed up with that wonderful wheeled chair, he's been doing well. He's made friends. He's
That's
old
good.
enough now, and he's practiced with it enough that we still let him. We allow for him to go down the road by himself.
Wow, big kid, huh?
He grows up fast.
Mm-hmm.
But you did give him a set of wheels, so
Yeah, well, you can go fast, huh?
I keep telling him to avoid big hills, but he just gets this wild look in his eye, which...
Would you?
No, I wouldn't. That's why I tell him to avoid them at all costs.
Yeah.
Not to drive him to do it, but it's a parent's responsibility to still encourage our children not to go directly into danger. Not that it really, it doesn't take, especially in our family, but...
Yeah.
So how have you been? How are things? I'm glad to hear your friends aren't dead. I'm sad that they couldn't join us.
That's all right. We had a big party coming anyways. I guess I'll just introduce everybody.
Oh my god, it is so good to finally meet you. As like the shadow in the doorway squinches in and just, oh, okay, you're tall. And like your dad just gets brought up into a big hug from Grayskull. And Grayskull's like, "You've been like my dad as well. Thank you." It's just, I don't ever recall that part of my past.
Dad, this is Grayskull. He was living in the axe. Who was in my brain. He is now alive.
Okay. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess, yes, wizard bullshit?
Yep.
I have to get my swears in before the boy comes back.
That's fair. And then
We're going to need 3 times the normal amount of stew. And your mother just like nods, like, I'm on it.
This is Leo.
Oh.
We Well, you
And
know
he
Philip.
like looks at you, looks at Grayskull, and this like moment of confusion about
Caleb
him.
or Philip and I have decided to adopt Leo.
Oh. Oh, hi, Philip. And like waves, and Philip just, hello. I think Philip is like, Todd, come on. Like, you're not allowed inside. Just, bah. Yes, I know that, like, you're allowed everywhere at the other place. And he's still, like, trying to, like, get Todd to, like, pay attention. I think, if anything, like, he'll be like, I'll go get Owain. I'll go make sure. I'll go get your brother. You'll be thrilled to see Todd looks like this.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, Philip ends up leaving, and your father just, well, that's good. Adoption, is a very noble pursuit. We thought about it a few times. If nothing had taken in the next 15 years before you were born, we were really going to have it on the table. But then we were blessed with my little girl who's all grown up.
So, Leo.
I wouldn't cry.
It's okay. It's okay. Leo, these are my parents, so they are your grandparents.
And Leo just sort of like nods.
Ma, did you have a name picked out that you wanted to be called?
And you see that, and like she like drops her ladle into the pot, and her head whips around. And you like get that look on her face, and a quick, very quiet, I thought this day would never come. And she says, Mima.
So you can call her Mima. This is your Mima. I know it doesn't work like that in the Goliath tribe. We don't really have elders in that regard, but because she is my mom, the person who gave birth to me in halfling society, she is the one who raised me and my dad, and they took care of me up until I was an adult, and they are, I'm guessing, gonna want to be part of your life.
Oh, we would love to. We would absolutely love to get to know more about this strapping young man. You look like... Are you hungry? One of the best parts about visiting Grandpa and Mima is going to be, always going to be some fresh stew on the pot.
Mm-hmm. It is a fantastic stew. I know the Goliath food's pretty good. This is incredible. Get ready for a treat.
And Leo, who is still getting accustomed to you being like, I've adopted you, and him being like, my real parents are definitely still alive.
Yeah.
You're just like, these are your grandparents! And he's like, okay. Like, he's very, like, he's not, like, put off by it.
It's gonna take him 10 minutes with these people, and he's gonna be like, this is great!
Yeah, no, like, when he realizes that, like, oh, like, they're all, like, the chieftain here.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And I think that's when, like, as dinner is sort of getting ready, and it is towards serving time, you will hear the clatter of a cart as well. Actually, I don't even think you would hear the clatter of a cart. I think that you would just hear like the clomping of Todd, his thunderous hooves returning.
Yeah.
Philip having strapped the wheelchair onto the back of Todd, and then sort of sitting with Owain in front of him. And Owain is just like petting this ridiculous god goat, and is just like loving the stories that Philip is saying. And I think like as they come around, he's like, so why did you pretend to be somebody else and run away from my sister? Let's not get into that right now. Hey, look, Gwen! Oh!
Hey, buddy! She like picks him up off of Todd and like puts him on her shoulders.
Yeah, and Owain is just very much like, just like kind of up there, and you see that he's like trying to balance a little bit. His balance isn't that good, so he's just sort of like flopped his upper half onto your head, and is just like has his arms up here, and he's giving you a big old hug from up there. And you see Philip is like getting the chair off of Todd and Todd, for what it's worth, is being oddly respectful of this whole thing.
Good. Elaine, this is Grayskull. He's like kind of like your uncle. He's like my best friend. Remember how I had that spirit in me? That's him.
Yeah.
He's real now. I mean,
You can call me Unky if you want. I won't make you. Okay.
and this is Leo. Leo's parents are missing, so Philip and I have decided to take care of him, and he's gonna train with us and live with us, so he can get big and strong to go find his parents. So he's kind of like our adoptive baby boy right now. I mean, he's not a baby, but you know what I mean.
And Leo like looks him up and down and then looks back towards you. Does that make him my nephew?
Well, I mean, I guess technically, but you guys could be more like cousins because you're like around the same age. Well, kind of. Just call him Leo.
Okay. It's nice to meet you, Leo. And Owain like rolls up and extends his hand out, and Leo just sort of like, he has not seen a wheelchair before.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very difficult for him like not to look at it because he doesn't really know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
He gets the gist of it though, and
Mm-hmm.
shakes Owain's hand. But he seems polite enough not to like ask like, what's that for? Like he's clearly seeing it as a mobility aid. Yeah.
We're gonna be here for just a little bit. We're not staying for too long, but I thought everyone should meet before we you know, I'm dealing with the whole like big worms in space thing, so it's a nice little quiet time for us, and Caelum brought us here to for everyone to meet and party up. And have a nice dinner together.
And I think everyone is like, they're on board for it. This seems good. Your father ends up asking for Grayskull's help to be able to actually like go outside. They're setting up seating outdoors.
The party table.
Yeah, because it's like, it's towards the end of spring, beginning of summer. The nights are still going to be are still going to be pretty warm going on into the evening. And it's just easier to set up food more potluck style when you have that many people. And it is that nice out versus like everyone in your halfling domicile when two of them are Goliaths and you already have more company than you typically have during a day. And it goes by really well, I think. Your dad, like you can hear your dad and Grayskull talking, and your dad asks Grayskull like, "Oh, Grayskull, like is that like a title? Is that the full name?
Family
I'm
name?
not trying to pry, but like where we come from, I'm sure you know, it's usually like a first name last name situation." And Grayskull says, "Eulalian, but nobody calls me that." Just okay, I won't, but it is a pleasure to get to know you. I don't know how much you know about me, to be honest. I don't expect my daughter to talk about me all the time. Well, I mean, like, I was there, like, did some cool stuff when it was all, like, snowy out, things. Oh, right, yeah, no, okay. No, I remember you. I remember. Now that you're less, like, see-through and mystical, you know, I was curious. Just, you look good. You look cut. Grayskull just, oh, thank you. You know, I work really hard to maintain this figure. And your dad is just, I don't know what to say anymore.
Yeah.
And so he's just
have our toast to family.
And yeah, I think that there is toast that is had to family. It looks like It's not the right season yet for apple cider to be had readily available. But there is some very it's kind of like bubbly, like it's a non-alcoholic, but it's made from strawberry.
It's sparkling.
Yeah, so it's more of like a strawberry cider that has been presented that Owain gets to drink, and then they offer that to Leo as well. And Leo gets like this look where he's just like, I get beer at home, but he's like 10 years old. So your parents are like, I don't know how.
Yeah.
Our customs, you get juice. Like,
yeah.
And so like Leo does have this, like, I could eat as much as I want at grandma and grandpa's house, but they don't have any booze.
Yeah.
That one thing
day,
that keeps him from,
buddy.
yeah, one day, when he's old enough.
When he's
yes,
11.
Noctua, thank you. A strawberry cordial.
Yeah.
To channel our
Inner Redwall.
Our inner Brian Jocks from Redwall is strawberry cordial had by all.
Simon.
Yes.
Could Caelum have picked up the cordial from the brewery while Gwen was talking with her parents?
Yeah. You could have gone to
Specifically because
the Three Rivers Brewing Company.
I want to check on the bean leg.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about the bean leg.
So when you get there, it is a weird monument. Like, they have built, like, there's like a gate around it now. Like, it's not something that you can just easily access, and it looks like there is like a little placard basically saying like like this was left by the heroes who saved Greenreach. They do not see necessarily that there is like toes and like other bits coming up from it. They just see a weird beanstalk. But it seems that they have been using the fruits from this beanstalk to make special brews. So if you want to pick up a barrel of Last Leg, you're more than welcome to.
No, I think it'd be called No Leg to Stand On.
I'm here for it.
It's a Voodoo Ranger flavor.
I mean, he said multiple brews. It's all just leg pun.
Yeah, there is some that's like a fermented bean juice. Like, because it is a bean leg. It's not like growing regular fruit from it. It's growing beans. But it seems like, an edamame style beer. It's pretty good.
It's like a sake, got it.
It's more of a gose. You want it to have it something a little bit saltier to kind of go with that earthy flavor for it.
Caelum takes out a crystal orb, uses Portrait, and then casts Galder Speedy Carrier and just drops it inside, targeting Cori.
Which one? If you don't specify, roll a d4 and we'll have fun.
Fall Cori.
Okay.
4.
Yeah, because one could go to Oliviette because she has the season of winter in her.
Oh shit! It would go to like fucking.
Oliviette notably does not have the season.
Yeah, Oliviette does not have the season of winter. It never did. That was a trick by Shaw.
Right. It would probably
the
go to.
Season of Winter is currently in the Raven Queen.
Who's the season of death?
Who is the season of death?
I think that'd be hilarious. No, I'm gonna send it to the Raven Queen. Okay. I think that'd be infinitely funnier because she has Coriander's memories.
Yeah, she would remember the bean leg.
Also, I need to hit my talk to family quota.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, just have a good family night and everyone get to know each other and home before bedtime sort of thing.
As Gwen is drinking, Caelum just leans over. That beverage is made from my leg, by the way.
Back into the cup.
Grayskull.
Puts it down.
Really?
Yeah, you remember when I lost my leg to Dendar and the furballs gave me the plant leg? which then fell off after I got the new leg back in, and we planted it in front of the brewery.
Oh shit! Right? Yeah.
Yeah, they're using that to ferment the beans that come from it.
Oh, resourceful.
Yeah, I think it actually turned out pretty well.
It's not bad. Could be a little bit higher in the like drinky scale, but like.
Nah,
it's
they just need to
tasty.
ferment it for like another month, I think.
It's tasty, regardless. But yeah.
Anyways.
Fight the intrusive thoughts, RJ. Fight the intrusive thoughts.
They've been
Yeah,
selling
just-
canned toes for months now.
Mhm.
No, I was about to just whisper, I'm inside you.
Oh, disgusting. So, as the wonderful meal that is being held in Greenreach comes to a close, is the wonderful meal that is being... Yeah.
Caelum, can you make a sending stone for Leo and my parents? What?
You're muted.
We can always
Sorry.
buy one. It would
Okay.
take me far longer to make one than just to find it.
Okay. That's a thought.
Yeah, I could...
What, Connor? What did you just figure out?
Don't know why, but I feel like I'm about to have to buy 2 more cell phone plans.
It's all right. They're a tax write-off.
Yeah, for business. Totally. Anyways, I think tonight was incredible. It was good to see you guys. Can I talk, Mom, Dad, can I talk to you just for a second?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Of
Hey,
course.
boys, come out here. I'm going to show you something cool.
Oh, yay!
Oh, yeah.
And Grayskull, like, runs out.
Wait. What, Gwen?
Don't blow anything up.
I'm not. Closes the door, casts a 5th level fly targeting
The boys.
the boys. And I'll just have them fly around for a while. Grayskull's well, no, Grayskull can fly.
Yeah,
So
he's like, they
He's
are
the
showing...
Peter Pan of this group.
Well, no, that's the thing, is Grayskull is not adept at flying yet. This is a
Oh.
very new thing, so they're all basically, like, functioning at the same skill.
it's like swimming, boys. You have to like. Oh wait, no.
Oh, Wayne, I can't swim!
Neither could I, but I learned.
Hey, so... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, they just seem like they're having fun out there.
Yeah. So there is... You know we're going to do something big and important, right?
You said that there were worms in space, a place where worms, notably, are not usually found, so I'm assuming that it's very dangerous and fraught with... Well, I remember when winter was here, and we thought that was bad.
Yeah. So, like, realistically, this is probably the most danger I'm ever gonna be in or ever have been in, and I fought my god. So, I think that, yeah, just in case anything happens, I just want to say that I know things were rocky for a while, and I haven't really been around too much since then, but I, as an adult and with retrospect, I know you guys did your best, and I know that it really didn't have anything to do with you guys when I left. It was more what I needed to do for me. And I just don't want you guys to think that, like, I was trying to run away from you. I think I was just, trying to be who I wanted to be. And that's how I needed to do it,
I don't know why you would have thought that we were mad at you. Rightfully, we didn't have a means of getting in contact with you, scrounging up money for a sending stone or something like that. Well, we would have had to have somehow gotten you a sending stone.
Yeah.
When you left, we assumed the worst. Not that you resented us, but that you were gone. That was the more crushing thing. That being said, I am glad you came back. I know that your mother and I weren't the best parents. I mean, it was our first time, really. Not that that is any excuse. We just didn't know how to raise you.
I'm sure it wasn't easy. I know I didn't make it easy, so.
Well, if memory serves, the first thing you did when meeting your quote-unquote new parents was stomp that man's foot.
Did do that. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So,
gotta establish dominance.
So if anything, I'm thankful that you found sturdier parents than us.
Well,
That being said, I wish that I had been there more. Wish that I had been able to be there more, whether it was just sending you containers of your mother's soup, of her stew. I don't know how they would have kept, but we would have figured out a way. Or even just a letter here and there. But knowing that you're okay now, and knowing that our legacy lives through you, and your legacy, from what I've heard, is turning into a sizable town. Place for scholars. You didn't hear it from me. You heard it from her. And he, like, points to your mom, and she just, like, looks at him like, what the fuck, man? Your brother. You showed martial prowess. But your brother is beginning to manifest abilities.
Like magic?
Nods.
Man, you thought you had it hard with me.
He's a quick read. An excellent study. And he is a wonderful boy. If you find room in your city for a small group from the countryside, know that it would humble me greatly to ask for help, especially from my daughter, who I know ran away not because of what we did, but it is still we weren't the best parents for you. But I hope that you can help us be the best parents for your brother.
Yeah, I think I can pull a few strings. Got some weight to throw around in that town.
And it looks like he'll already have a friend if he goes. And he sort of eyes up in the sky, and you can see Owain and Leo just like flying around, and then Grayskull just oh fuck, oh god, and like just a PNG slight rotate, like going from point A to point B.
There's a mage hand that goes up next to Grayskull to steady his back.
Yeah, he'll like grab onto it and then pull to right himself, but he has more than 5 pounds of weight in the pull, so it breaks the mage hand. It just causes him to like flip again.
Grayskull, release it! Grayskull, release it! I'll catch you!
Oh boy.
But you're so small. I'm trusting you, boy.
Trust me!
And Grace, you just watch as Grayskull just like a rock.
Featherfall.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, of course. I guess the other thing is, like I said, we're going into some pretty big danger, and this I mean, I don't expect anything bad to happen. It's me. It's us. It's fine. But if I don't come back, I will leave instructions for everybody and make sure everybody knows what to do and you know, that sort of, just make sure everything's taken care of.
And your father puts both of his hands on your shoulders, and I think will or he'll instead of his shoulders, he'll put them on the sides of your head, and he'll bring you into a slight headbutt and says, Guinevere Proudfoot, don't talk as your father, my one action as your father. Do not speak like this is the thing that will fell you. You have traveled to different worlds. You have survived a city that fell. You have saved countless metropolises? Big places. You've traveled to the Feywild for fun. And to save an entire plane. This is worms we're talking about. Dangerous worms. I understand. But you are a Proudfoot. And that's not for nothing.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
As I said, my one action as a father. If you go, I demand you return so we can host a feast worthy of a savior. The Proudfoot does not get to host the feast as often as we should, and I would like for one of us to be the reason the feast is had, at least in these parts.
Okay. All right, I promise.
I'll hold you to it. Your mother will haunt you if you don't.
Oh my god.
Why would you say that? Can you go on with it's a playful threat. It's fine.
That's all right. Yeah, okay. Yeah. No, it's gonna be, I promise. I mean, I'm trying not to be boastful here, but, Talos does like me a lot, so hopefully, as long as I'm not magic dead. I don't really know how it works. I came back once. I'll come back again, right? Not that I'm gonna die, because it's gonna be so awesome. Just us and my axe friends and Grayskull, and we got dragons on our side. It's gonna be fine.
You live a fantastical life. And one day, when it's slow enough, I'd like to hear about all of the stories that I missed.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Just I've been going for a while. I've been on adventures and fighting and training and being a chieftain, and I could use some slow. I think I'm ready for the slow for a while. I got a kid to raise.
Good luck.
Yeah.
It takes a village is the saying, but from what you've told me, I think you already have that lined up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, totes. And yeah, when I come back, you guys can come visit for the summer or something.
We would love that. Wouldn't we? And your mom has just been just holding it together, and rather than say anything about visiting, she rushes up to you, pulls you into that mom hug.
Mm-hmm.
And with her hand on the back of your head in a cradle-like hug, she says, I'm glad you were my daughter.
I am glad that you are my mom. And she kind of like picks her head up, and my dad. And I'm gonna do our family proud. Feet.
And they both, like, your mom sort of just like is like brushing away tears. It's definitely not me as the GM who needs to do that. And I think that as this scene comes to a close, this is a great time for us to go to our break for the evening. We're going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes, so don't go no place unless it's to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, pick yourself up something nice, and we'll see all of you guys shortly. All right, everybody, see you soon. Press the button. Hello, everybody.
Simon!
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
You do a good job on this channel. You do a good job of being my friend.
Simon.
Wow.
I must ask you a question. What is Waluigi's favorite series?
I don't know.
Star Wars. Shit. God damn it.
Try smacking the butt a couple of times to get the batteries going.
God.
Oh my god.
It's too late.
All right, everybody give your best wah to round it out.
Wah.
Wow.
Wah! Wah!
That one's really good.
I haven't practiced it. I have practiced it.
Incredible. God, I fucking love you guys. This is great.
But I too am also proud of you.
I was wondering where Connor was putting in the earbuds, and I was like, I don't remember him wearing those. Have I been gaslighting myself this whole time? All right, so where we left off at the break, Gwen, you were having a fantastic feast with your family. Cori, you were having a wonderful luncheon with your mother on the Isle of Summer. And Arjhan, you and Rasa were just getting away for a little bit. Just hanging out at your old friend Scorchbane, the Red Comet's old pad. And unless there's anything anybody else wants to do throughout this day, you can head back to the ship. Sound good? Good?
Oh, I offer Gwen's parents. Oh, by the way, I heard everything about Owain. If his magic does get a little bit in the realm of needing management, I have some friends up in Vascor.
Didn't that city collapse?
Well, there's a small subset of people that are still there.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it. We'll take you up on that. I assume getting a hold of you is the...
I will get you a
way-
sending stone.
When you can. It's not no pressure. You know, those things, they aren't cheap. I'm pretty sure a set of sending stones could pay for this place for at least half a year.
What happened to all the money I gave you?
We've been using it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Developing the land.
Just put it back.
Raise the
'Cause
property
currently
value.
Currently all my money is with the big tall dragon boy.
Our
Hordes
treasurer.
person. Got it.
Yeah. I would give you more, but I don't have anything. Hold on. She like goes
You've
in her
already
bag.
given us so much.
No, I've got more.
We put some of it aside for a Wayne school fund.
Oh, here. She pulls out a giant tooth. This
what?
is from the Kraken.
Oh, yeah.
It's a Kraken tooth.
Aha.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
When we take it to town,
Mm.
roughly how much should we ask for?
can I insight the Kraken tooth?
Yeah, inside the Kraken tooth.
Well, well, a person goes for 1,000 gold. I got a 19.
2,000.
You got a how much?
19 on
19?
insight.
You know, they would have to travel a long way to sell this. They're going to hold on to it because it's something that their daughter gave them. But you also know that the way that they're looking at it, like, oh, thank you. If you came back here in a week, it might still be in the same place. If you came back here in a year, it will most likely be like put into the shed until they figure out what to do with it.
You know what, Gwen? Maybe we should sell it on our own time and give your parents the gold. It might actually be a far more exorbitant price than the entirety of Greenreach could afford.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Okay. Then I will give you not Asmodeus's ring.
Here's a band of loyalty. Could you put this on and say all crows fly free?
Oh my god.
You know what? Here she pulls out an ever-burning torch.
Oh.
There you go. See, this won't go out.
This is useful. Look.
Yep.
Are you saying that this won't go out? Hey, bring by the rain barrel. And he like sticks it in, pops out. Oh, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Thank you.
Of course.
This is the equivalent of giving your dad a screwdriver set on Christmas. Like, you could give him something exorbitant, but like ultimately he just wanted a new drill.
Yeah.
Like,
He just wants a pair of socks.
yeah,
I
like
just want a new hat.
as far as like utility and everything, like this is gonna go a lot of distance for him.
Hey, Gwen, am I like Leo's uncle?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Why?
I was just wondering. He'll reach into his bag and plop a book down in Owain's lap. The pages are still blank, but I think every wizard should have a spell tome.
I'm a wizard?
You have
And,
magical
like-
abilities.
And like you see like Gwen's parents
Oh,
like, but like it is too late. He's like, I'm gonna be a wizard, and they're like, oh, okay.
Yes, but if I've learned anything from spellcasters, and I know some good ones,
you should introduce me sometime.
you have to be very careful and cautious. If you start just throwing things around willy-nilly, the goddess of magic is gonna get pissed at you and age you or do really bad things, okay? Listen to your parents. Listen to your parents. Practice carefully and only with someone who knows what they're doing, like an adult who knows magic, okay?
He nods.
Listen, Owain, coming from someone who has done all the trials and tribulations, doing magic is risky if you don't know what you're doing. Even if you do know what you're doing, it's pretty risky. But it's a lot easier when you have people who can help you. So, when Gwen and I are finished with this task, maybe I'll swing by to help you out.
And he just silently nods, like he doesn't know how to say thank you for you, 1, telling him he's a wizard, 2, giving him a wizard book, and 3, being the most powerful wizard possibly on this continent, just being like, don't worry, kid, I'll get you. Like, it's his version of, oh, wow, thanks, Mean Joe Green. Like, you just gave him, like a Make-A-Wish. Like, he got the ultimate fantasy
I can't cast Wish
career.
anymore.
I know.
Thankfully. Also, Leo, I might be a wizard, but also I was trained as a fighter, so I have a couple of things lying around. Do you need anything?
And he sees like a wizard spell book that you just gave to him.
I've got knives. I've got swords.
Caelum, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. Wooden?
I could do wooden. Or on your 15th birthday, I can get you something really sweet.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool. And like Caelum, in this moment, you have not only become the cool uncle, this young lad has imprinted on you.
Uh-oh.
Like when you show up to any family gathering, Leah will be right there being like, so like I'm 14 now, I'm super strong and stuff. Like he is not ever going to forget that you promised him something great on his 15th
I will be on him like, hey, what are you training? Okay, cool. You're doing axes. All right, I'll look for something.
Joke's
You're
on
into
you,
swords
showing
now.
interest.
All right.
Oh yeah, no. Gwen, just one of those like, maybe bringing the wizard here wasn't a good idea.
All right.
I'm
Get to
Wizard
bed.
Santa.
Leo, it's time for you to go back to the tribe. We'll see you. I'll let you know how things pan out, and we'll plan for a summer vacation.
Couldn't Leo stay with Grandpa and Mima for a bit, and Philip can just walk him back?
What do you want?
I don't want to impose.
Leo, I think he wants to stay here just a little bit longer. It seems like he and Owain were like really starting to like get to that friendly rhythm with each other. Owain's a really, he's a really good kid.
Rambunctious child.
All right. Leo, just remember, Owain is not trained like you are in fighting. So if you do practice together, gentles, okay?
He nods.
Okay. Gwen hugs Owain, hugs Leo, like just gives him you better be good for them, if I hear about it. And then goes to her parents and just says, "All right, I'll call you."
And your dad like makes sure to give you just like a little bit more lingering of a hug. And your mom, she'll come over and she'll give you a hug as well. And she says, I know that you're going to be going off and having a wonderful adventure and all of that, but just remember you're never too far to stop in and say hello. And she will give you a jar with some of her homemade stew in it.
I was gonna ask. I didn't even have to ask. She's like, "Thank you so much, Mom.
Now,
I love you guys." Yeah.
For you, as this is your childhood stew, this will act as a potion of superior healing. The very rare health potion.
Yes. Just can you imagine, like, potions are like 4 ounces. The Gwen in the middle of combat's just like, this jar of stew.
Oh yeah, Grandma's stew is the best health potion on the material plane. It is. It has been proven time and time again.
All right.
Would it count as a potion of supreme healing if we heated it up first?
Is this? It's the very rare one. It is the.
Oh, supreme, yeah. So it's
yeah,
10d4 plus 20.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dang.
So just
All
remember
right.
when you're fighting the elder gods and you get a little hungry,
Thanks, Mom.
have some soup.
Oh,
Mom made it for you.
Gwen, I totally forgot I got this for you. Hands her a bad bitch silly straw to go with the soup.
Ah!
It takes so long to go through all of the
It's
loot.
so chunky.
It takes several like deep dregs in order to get there. I'm letting you
Gwen is
know
a
from experience.
Could it be a bad bitch silly straw, but it has the thickness of a boba like silly
Oh
straw?
let's not talk about that. All right.
Gwen's got the strength score for it. Don't worry about it.
Incredible. Okay, so you have waved goodbye to your parents. You've been bestowed with some wonderful stew. Like Caelum said, the money that you gave them, they put back into the farm. They were able to grow really good materials, and they used that materials with a dash of your mother's love and your father's pride, and made something quite special. If anybody else imbibes in the stew, it will be a regular stew, but for you, is a very good stew.
Get hecked.
That nostalgia factor.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so you are all able to return back to your vessel. Arjhan?
Arjhan would have hit the point of turning back.
You would have, yes.
So whenever he and Rasa come to pick Cori back up, shit. Rasa, would you? I can't teleport us again. We would have to go through Gideon, but I don't think that's a way for you to get through unless I put you in the flask.
And she will nod, say, I'm okay with this.
If you want to avoid that, you could spend hit die to true polymorph her into a form that can.
No, I can't.
Oh, you can't. Oh, that's an interesting stipulation.
I've reeled in, like, the limit that I'm putting on the Great Burn stuff is that I can only do it in the hour that I'm in the majestic form.
Okay. Ooh,
and that has run out. So
cool.
Yeah, so Rasa, she says as long as you don't keep her in there for long, she'll be okay.
So
she goes into the iron flask.
Which I would never be able to do without her consent. Because like she was legendary resistance out of it anyway.
Also true.
Sorry, force of habit.
No, she accepts this. She actually likes the idea. One of those, like, in the late nights, when the two of you have been like sort of like layer talk, while the two of you have been away, like the idea of just like, oh, if only I was a bronze dragon, then I could just, or a copper dragon, then I could just turn into a little mouse and hang out in your pocket all the time, and we could just go places, like that kind of thing. So she likes the idea of being carried around, but as long as it's not for too long.
So mate in bottle, iron silver door handle to get back into Gideon, and then out of Gideon back onto the ship.
It's a bottle episode.
Not since Chris Estrada if we had one of those. So yeah, you get back out on the Gideon, pop out, and she just immediately like stretches, gives you a loving nuzzle, and says, "It wasn't that bad. I think.
Okay.
I think everything was the right size for me. It's just, it's weird."
Interesting. And I'll give her the flask back.
Okay.
And be very careful not to tell her to do anything until the effect wears off.
Yeah. Yeah, she will, she'll take it. And then she'll just hang out until the effect wears off. I think the only thing that she would do is just fly. And just like kind of keep within like a 30-foot distance of you in the time during that flight. But yeah, she seems fine with this. When you return, Hexton as well. No funny business was had. We joked earlier that he was just sort of working out. And that is kind of what it has been. You can see that like he's been getting more accustomed to the body that he has found himself in. Flying is new. Using True Sight is new. Having a connection that allows him to have a bigger boom with a regular greatsword that he has is also new for him, but he seems to have been using this time correctly. That being said, the night will go by uneventfully unless anybody has anything that they would like to do.
Everyone's meeting with family, but there's not enough time. Caelum spends a bit of time writing letters to everyone and casting Galder Speedy Courier at a higher level to send them out with like small gifts.
Okay.
Just like explaining the situation, telling them that he loves them.
Yeah.
It's like bottle of alcohol for off constantly, a small little owl plushie for Amaris.
No. The response that you get back from off constantly is a begrudged Prescott who starts off with, Farron wanted you to know that we're all drinking this together when you come back. Mugwort did not want to wait. Yes, you did say that. And that's his response. It's just letting you know, like, they'll wait for you.
Bing. Letter to Diantha, just like, hey, I'll be home soon. Don't wait up for me though. Got something I want to discuss with you. But it can wait.
The response is, well, then hurry your ass up. I hate waiting. And then there's like basically the sound of a kiss.
He sent her a pop gun he found on the Rock of Brawl that shoots out a small flag that says bang on it.
Oh yeah, she loves it. She thinks that's great.
It's also a fidget toy.
Yeah, if you like are constantly doing the like Smith and Wesson rifle spinning. Yeah, everyone is pleased with the gifts that they have received. It turns out Caelum is a very skilled gift giver. Comparatively to his first birthday here with the group, he's come a long way. So the night goes by uneventfully. The next day rolls in, and you are informed by Skiznabat that the Citadel of Gith is but a few hours ahead. He knows where it is. He's sailed past it before. He's never actually been there himself. He usually tried to hop in and ride the waves of Limbo at a much higher point to try and get like to the ultimate treasures as he described them in the middle. But obviously the rest of his crew is like, I don't know why we listened to that guy the first time. He turned into a flump because of it. And like Bill and Ted are like, fuck yeah, he turned into a flump. That was cool as hell. They seem really accepting of everything that's been going on and everything that has been happening. So that being said, after a few hours of travel, you eventually see what looks to be, it's like a liquid rainbow, which I understand rainbows technically are liquid because it is like moisture that is in the air that is then being refracted. But if you could get like, has anyone seen The Page Master with Macaulay Culkin? At the very beginning of The Page Master, when all of the paint is dripping down from the ceiling as he goes from live action into cartoon, and it has all of those colors in that kind of liquid, malleable state, that is essentially what is coming out of the River of Limbo. But if you change the opacity to be around like the 65%, and it had more of like a spring-like water texture to it, even though it was this multitude of colors. You see that there are like almost like lava lamp bubbles that are coming off of it, but standing in front of this is a massive gate that is about 50 feet tall. And that seems to kind of be diverting the River of Limbo around where the Citadel of Gith is. And when you spot the Citadel of Gith, it is just one building. It is one large silver building sitting atop of what looks like a either a mountaintop that was cut in half, inverted, and then a thing stuck on top of it, or it's just a rock that kind of trails down, as it seems they only really cared about a flat surface on one end. Either way, there is this building. And as you are making your way, you can see that there are these Gith that are there. Some of them seem to be in the midst of a sort of monastic training. It seems that even though they are not with the Gith Yankee, they still know how to defend themselves to a degree. It just seems like it's a lot more martial in terms of learning than sword related. Although they are still like using spears and things like that. It's just a lot more like, again, less war as aggression and more war as meditation.
Space Shaolin Temple.
Exactly. Made of these Gith. Now, when you arrive, there's not a dock necessarily. And as your ship gets lower, Skiznabat will respond and say, we'll stay here on our ship in case anything goes down. We'll be able to offer more assistance in the air than we will be able to on land. And the rest of your group is able to go out. Are you bringing Rasa with you? It seems that the Githzerai aren't like afraid or shocked at the sight of this red dragon. They seem very like friendly, like, oh, hello. Like they, stemming from the Githzerai to the Gith Yankee, red dragons are part of their sister's culture. So they're not surprised necessarily. They're surprised to see Rasa, but not in a like, oh my god, get the pitchforks kind of way. Just like, oh, it's been a while since one of you came by.
I'll follow Caelum's lead on this.
Okay.
Is anyone a party approaching us to check up on what's going on?
Yes, there is a slight group of them that are approaching. And they seem to be led by what appears to be a female presenting comparatively to the rest of them. I mean, they're all wearing basic robes. But this Githzerai woman ends up approaching. And she pulls off her hood. And you can see that she has very short hair. It seems like it has been cropped almost into a bob. Like it's not as uniform as and like fashionable, but it's more like this hair needs to get out of my fucking face when I'm doing shit. I can't have it just like being around all the time. And it seems like she doesn't particularly care for it, but upon seeing you, she gives a deep bow, followed with this group of others that have joined her. And she introduces herself as Radina, Radina the Wiser. And she asks, it is uncommon that we see travelers and adventurers make their way to the Citadel. How may we assist?
Hello, my name is Caelum. I am a Magister of Mystra, and aid was requested from here.
Okay. Do you present the coin?
Yeah, he'll hand over the coin.
Okay. When you do, you see that her eyes get big, and she shoots a look behind her, and there is like a silent recognition from the rest of this group, and they disperse. And she asks, "Where did you get this?"
Caelum has been wearing like the mask of non-detection. He clicks in the side so it like shrinks down and he'll pocket it. What's his name? I was looking for it in questions, but I couldn't find
Zareth
it.
Menyar Ag Gith.
Sareth Agyar Ad Gith?
Close enough.
I repeat the name.
Yeah.
Came to me in an astral form and requested that we arrive here.
And when you say this, the Gith, outside of Bill and Ted, from what you know, are not known for being expressive. And from what you've seen with these meditative Gith, they also do not seem as expressive as others. when you say that you were given this by Zareth, there is like her eyes get wide and then she gets contemplative and she just like grips the coin in her hand. And she says, "Follow me."
Could I insight that?
Yeah, insight it.
Is my dude dead? Did I just talk to a ghost? 16.
A 16. It did have a kind of hopeful, like maybe it's not as bad as it could be look about her.
So she's hopeful with
She's very hopeful.
my arrival here.
She's hopeful with your arrival, having given her a coin saying, "Zareth handed this to me." It seems like the moment that you said Zareth's name, she was immediately like, okay, like I can trust this person because of this thing. Now, when she says to follow her, do you do so? Do you hang outside? She's not going to force you to follow her, but it is heavily implied that she wants you to join her for...
Yeah, Caelum follows her.
Okay. Okay. Does the rest of the group go in as well? Rasa, the building is not necessarily sized for her. So she's willing to stay out here and kind of get a lay of the area.
I think Grayskull can stay back.
Okay.
Gwen will go.
Yeah, Hexton
Cori.
is also like standing back and sort of like looking around at these monks, and he is very like, he's seen things like this before, but this is his first time seeing this, you know?
I'm treating Hexton as Becky Apples. That's nobody's horse.
Yeah.
He does what he wants.
Exactly.
Becky Apples, Becky Apples.
So, yeah, that group is staying outside. If anybody wants to stay outside with them, they are more than welcome to. If not, no worries. So again, Radina is going towards the Citadel. And as she walks, she says, "If Zareth reached out to you, it must be more dire than we thought."
From what he was saying, it did sound pretty dire.
And she continues to walk. And you feel like you're getting deeper into the Citadel, like kind of heading towards its center. And she says, how much do you know?
Zareth has told me that something is coming through Limbo. A large something.
She nods. And she says, from the teachings that were passed down from Zareth, something akin to this has not been seen since the Dawn War, since the chaining of the Great Oblivion himself. To think that there is something of equal power, if not greater, that is causing a disturbance. We will do our best to defend ourselves. But if you are a magister, as you have said, do not let the Citadel of the Gith become a memory. I implore you, as the current leader of the Gith, other than Zareth, rest unto him.
Rest onto him?
And she enters into this large antechamber. There's a set of double doors, and you can see that there are two, like, the Gith Zerai are not militant. If there were militant Gith Zerai, it would be these two standing in front of this large double door. And She, without saying a word, looks towards them. They nod, and the doors open. And she says, "Know that you are blessed in this place. No outsider has been allowed into Zareth's chamber for as long as the Citadel has remained strong." And as the doors open, you can see that there is a fog that comes out of the chamber that has filled it. And you can see things just sort of like spinning around in the fog. And as it clears, you can see that like this chamber is full of these coins, these silvered coins that she tosses into the room, and it hits a particular spot and then continues into an orbit around a centered... It's not a sarcophagus, but it does look like a resting place for a creature of unimaginable age who sits with their arms folded over their chest, eyes closed, like groomed. You know, they haven't been left to sit, but they are not conscious. And in the center of this room, they are surrounded by these small silver discs that are spinning at a frightening speed. And as they continue to go, Radina takes a deep breath and just walks into it. And it is like a swarm of bees. Like, it is thick with these like floating discs. And she just seems to be walking through them with calm mind until she gets to Zareth and sits, takes a knee in front of him. And in this contemplative state, you can see that there is like almost a ripple effect coming from her forehead. And then you see a bluish tinged ripple effect coming from Zareth's forehead. And her eyes shoot open. And she looks towards your group. And she walks back through these coins until she is close to you, and says, "Zareth has stirred enough to inform me of the potential that you all exhibit. We have not much time." And as she says this, there is a bell that rings off in the distance. Just ding, ding, ding. And it starts getting quicker. And then the bell sound comes louder and louder. And she says, "The creature has been spotted. There's not much time." And she asks for you again to follow her. Caelum, make an insight check or an arcana check.
I'll do Arcana. 25.
With a 25, this dude is meditating. But like, the way, like, as you're looking at him, he's not breathing. He's not breathing either. Like, he's existing in this singular moment, eyes closed, inside of this chamber. And you know that that's who you met. Like, there is a presence about them. And what Radina will explain is that when the Citadel was first formed, in order to keep it afloat, as other spelljamming vessels would be needed to, there needed to be a pilot. In order to create things here, there needed to be somebody of great magical power. what Zareth has essentially done is that they have locked themselves into the piloting mechanus of into the Citadel of Gith to make sure that this bastion for the Githzerai is habitable, to keep the waves of limbo from pressuring, to keep its stasis at the gates of this elemental chaos. And also, with a 25, I would say that there are two things that you remember about astral projection. When somebody is doing an astral projection from the material plane or another plane into the astral sea, they are tied by a silvered thread.
Mm-hmm.
And that thread can only be severed by a Gith Yankee blade. These swarming coins are to stop any kind of astral intruder that may attempt to aggress upon him or sneak in through alternative means. It's a defense mechanism. And this creature gave you part of his defense to ask you for assistance.
It's a very dire situation indeed.
Yes. Now, Regina is, again, like, she is full on, like, oh God, we gotta go. You can still talk while you're moving, but there won't be very much time to sit and contemplate.
No, Caelum's running and rustling in his bag. Redina, I'm going to need 3 of your best fighters or spellcasters.
And she says, whatever you need, you will have them.
And he'll hand her 3 scrolls of haste.
Yeah, she'll take them.
I'm going to need them to cast those on my allies and have those fighters stay relatively safe.
And she will, like, stop one, like, as she's running, she will, like, there's a guard that's running, she stops him, hands him those, and she looks at you and says, what is the range?
It is, I believe, touch. No, it should be like 30 feet. 30 feet.
Okay. She basically relays the same information of make sure somebody is within 30 feet of these 4 for the events to come. He nods. And this guy now has the spell scrolls because he's one of the fighters, but also, like, she could focus on other things.
And as they're running, Caelum's like looking into his bag for more things that might help and arm the Gith, because he was told they can fight, but they're not necessarily fighters.
It's true. So.
He'll ping his sending stone. Skiznabad, it's game time.
And the response that you get is, aye, aye. So you all rush back out onto the pavilion, and there is a quiet, and you can see that Rasa is like, there is like a tension about her. She looks at you, Arjhan, and clickies the button onto her necklace. And in this moment, she takes on a armored form as like her Hell Legion armor grows from the necklace onto her. She doesn't know what's to come. Best way to prepare for that, try not to get hit. That being said, you see Skiznabat's like ship like extends upwards, and there is a pool of water that is near where the Githzerai have been training. And there are like giant posts that are in it to help them with their dexterity training and for when they learn jump and other things like that. And there is this moment of calm. And you see that there is a ripple in the pond from its center that then extends out as a far off can be heard. And you look and stare at this 50-foot tall gate that is before the Citadel of the Gith. And the water tenses more. And you see that 3 of these Githzerai run up. Caelum, haste. They rush up to Cori, haste. They.
I only give them
okay.
3, so it would probably be Cori, Gwen, and Arjhan.
Okay, they will go Cori, Gwen, Arjhan. So the 3 of you have been hasted. This will be important to remember. You hear from behind the gate a roar older than time, as a sound that was begat at the beginning of Limbo is only muted by this large standing gate in front of you. And Gwen, you can feel sweat in your palms. It's not fear that is making you this way. This is one of the first times in a long while that you have no idea what to expect. And there is a rush with that. If this thing is as old as it sounds, who better to take it down? You all see or can hear that large, and the water is like shaking now. And you can see that there on the backside of this gate, water from the river of Limbo splashes up and around the side. Then there is a pause. And you hear a crackling noise as you watch this 50-foot tall gate go from its muted iron or muted silver to then starts getting redder and brighter as there is a massing of energy that seems to be coursing through until it goes from its pale silver to red, to bright red, to burning white, until eventually the gate in and of itself bursts open. And in the rubble, you can see that there is a massive line that goes through the center part of this gate. And you see 2 massive, titanic clawed hands reach on the inside of this gate and pull it open. And before you is a slod. And it is hard to describe it as a slod because slods as you know them were altered and changed because of the stone at the center of Limbo. This is a monstrosity. This is a slod abomination. This creature is the Karashek. And you can see that it has lizard-like features. It has horns that extend from the top of its head. It has this massive gem built into its neck that seems to just have like scales and other things coating around it, like this hardened carapace. And it pushes the sides of the gate and takes a step forward, and as it does, there is a massive wave of this chaos energy that flows from it, and you see splashes up onto the outside of the Citadel of the Gith, and the water looks like it is about to crash onto you when there is this shimmer. As we hard cut to inside of the Citadel, you see that Zareth has a blue flare from his eyes. We hard cut back to where you are as this shimmer extends above you, as the wave of Limbo's chaos energy just seems to pass by. But now standing before you is a Titan, a creature that looks like it is ready to destroy and feel no remorse. And as this creature, you see, has a almost light source in its upper chest that then extends up into its neck, that is where we are going to call it for tonight's session. So, get ready for that next week. I'm glad that we went and visited all of our friends and family and sent letters being like, hey, if anything happens,
I love you.
this seems like a really good time for that. So I'm glad that we are going to be enjoying that. But of course, I enjoy whenever these folks are on the channel. RJ, where can we find you? What do you do?
Lordy, I feel slotty. Hey everybody, I'm RJ. You can catch your RJustice282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I tweet about the nerdy things in my life. Oh, and Blue Sky, and Skeet about the things happening. God, why is it called Skeet? You can catch me here on Mondays as Caelum, Shatterkai Wizard Fighter, on Thursdays as Sulong Shen, the Druid Barbarian. We're gonna get into his human side a bit later. Saturdays over at GGK, where we do Blades in the Dark, Heart of Stone. I play a little gremlin of a man who is also an alchemist. And finally, Sunday mornings over at the Hype Goblins, where I play Titus Valentine Monsieur LaRue, who is a noble in his homeland, and he just found out his ex-wife took his company.
As you do.
As one does. He was technically dead for a while, so... TheNakedNerd.com.
Hello, everybody. I'm LBHackEmUp. You can find me at LBHackEmUp on the Twitters, Twitches, the Blue Skies, the Megalodons, all the fun stuff. The next time I'm going to be live is on Friday. Lauren and I are going to be back playing some spoopy games. Probably, I played Demonologist on Sunday with the Sunday night crew. It's a lot of fun. We might play that. I might talk her into playing that. It's very, very fun. And then on Sunday, we'll be back for the second episode of our Alien game, where I am playing the straight man. He's not actually straight, but he has the not funnies. He has a cat, Sphinx cat named Pharaoh, and they wear matching sweaters. It's very wholesome. It's pretty cute. And yeah, that's it for me. Until next week, where I've got more stuff, and then I'm on vacation. TheNakedNerd.com.
Boy, I'm Cyber. Right now, on twitch.tv/cyberwolf1, I'm playing Bayonetta 3. Things are happening, so many things. I love that game so much. And then I'm here on Mondays. Update. I released something on cyberwolf1201.com/ttrpg. There is a 109-page Cypher System supplement for Legend of Zelda stuff. I finally did it. I finally wrote the damn thing after running a Cypher Zelda game on High Shelf Collective earlier this year. So if you want Cypher System stuff and you want Zelda stuff, go there. It's free. That's it. Cyberwolf1201.com, DanaeKeener.com.
And speaking of DanaeKeener.com, that's me. You can find me there. I do nerdy drawings, most related to D&D and a lot of things on this channel. So go and check it out. Yeah, DanaeKeener.com.
And if you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hey, Acorns, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/IndoorAdventures. We do shows like this on Monday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we have our Apocalypse Keys game over on the same channel at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Or Daylight Time, I get the Pacific one. You can find us there Pacific Time. But for right now, we are going to be going into our Patreon-supported after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions that you'd like to ask myself or any of these other fine folk, the link to our Discord can be found in the Twitch chat to the side, and our link to the Patreon can also be found in the Twitch chat to the side, or in the description of this video or audio cast down below. But that is going to be it for our show. So before we head out, I'd like to say once again, thank you to everybody who decided to show up. Thank you to these players for putting up with my bullshit once again this week. And we'll see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye!